Hey guys, I'm back with an update about everything. There's 100 septillion quadrillion things on my mind, including crypto, AI, the SPY, the Qs, plus me, an update on me. So let's just dive right in. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about AI and markets, how to make money with AI, robots, intelligence, everything. DeepSeek has launched, Quen Chat, the 405B playground, and then now even tiny AI. All these models are coming on the market for cheaper and cheaper, next to nothing. So this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. AI, DeepSeek AI, Quen, like I just said. Prompt engineering. I've been learning all about prompt engineering, and I've been prompting my engineers to produce more valuable information. And specifically, I'm focusing on using AI for finance. And it's very, very interesting and powerful. Then we're going to talk about the markets, the SPY and the Q, that is the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And then, of course, crypto, Bitcoin, and memes. Do you remember what memes are? And then some news about me, Dave Crypto. So, this is what I'm working on. I don't know if I've told you, but this is the 7-pill process for becoming a professional trader. And there are 7 things that you need to learn. And I'm using this guy. What's his name? My God, I have brain damage. Elon Musk and his tree of knowledge method in order to tackle any subject and master it very quickly. And it's all about structure, guys. So let's just dive right in. Here's a quick update on me on Kinfold. This is my trading record to date. It is not totally updated because I just made a trade and I gained 150 US. So this is even going to be better. But as you can see, trading stocks recently, I have a winning percentage of 57.14. That's pretty good. And I've only made $60, but what I've learned is pure gold. My average gain is only $8.58, but you can see my trades and what I've made. So these last 3 trades have all been green, and I got another green. So I got to say, trading stocks and learning and applying my methodology works. You can get an edge. That's a pretty good edge. And so I'll keep updating you on that. And let's just jump right in here. This is my trading journal, which I will be giving you updates on. So every trade I make, I write some notes and talk about what was good, what was bad, how I felt. And so I'm constantly feeding back. Just like we develop our AI LLMs, we must develop our own intelligence using our own in a feedback loop. So we're constantly learning. So this is my trading journal. As you can see, just like I just mentioned, my most recent trade was for 200 shares, and I made like 150 US. So that's been my biggest gain to date, and I traded it pretty well. It was a swing trade. So I'm developing my trading strategy and constantly learning, and it is working. So let's get into AI. AI, DeepSeek. This is already old news, but the Chinese app that is the world talking. Why is it so cool? It's so cool because they've managed to develop an AI model that is just as good as the best ChatGPT model or OpenAI model, but they did it with like $5 or $6 million, whereas OpenAI has been raising like billions and billions, billions of dollars and like making these massive data centers and all this. But these guys said, we got a better way. So, but that's already old news. That launched like last week, and there's already new models out using smarter techniques and cheaper techniques. But anyway, so I've been using ChatGPT to do all sorts of stuff. You can see all my prompts here. Here's an interesting prompt thread, I'm going to call it. Provide a holistic analysis of the U.S. economy and include how it relates to the stock market. So as you can see, you can get ChatGPT to give you economic updates. You can do economic research and how the Fed policy influences the stock market. You can learn about the theory and how the system works using prompts. um, and apply that very quickly if you have the right prompts. I've also been using Gemini, and you can see some of mine. Let's see, key economic indicators. I want to evaluate the current stock market portfolio. Warren Buffett. Please name the 10 biggest positions. So Gemini is also linked into the internet, and you can get real-time data. So instead of searching, it just gives you exactly what you want. Key takeaways, concentrated portfolio, tech and financials. Apple and Bank of America are the biggest holdings. That's interesting. And so that's kind of like real-time. What I've found is that AI and Gemini are pretty good for real time. But here's DeepSeek. I've been using DeepSeek a lot. I like DeepSeek. It's pretty good. The only problem is that it's only trained on data up to August 23rd. You can include the search, toggle the search, but it doesn't always work. And then, of course, there's DeepThink, which is cool. So you have these two options to include the search the web when necessary, and also the DeepThink, which will show its internal thoughts, which is pretty cool. That's a feature that ChatGPT doesn't have, or the other ones don't have. So here's an example prompt that I used. Give me a report on the current state of green hydrogen. So I'm doing research into an industry for a stock for a friend that has invested in a green hydrogen. How much is produced, how much is used, who's using it, who's producing it, so this is the current state of green hydrogen. And it tells you everything. Who the players are, who's using it. Ammonia producers are using green hydrogens, the steel industry. So transportation, it's just starting. So there's a lot of hype around these green hydrogen stocks, but you got to dig in and do your fundamental analysis and learn about the market and the opportunity before you buy a stock to know, like, well, how risky is this? How real is the hype? So there's an example of an application that you can use DeepSeek with. So here's a new model, QuenChat. And this is another one that was developed on the cheap for a small amount of money, and it's supposedly just as good. So let's look at what did I do. Okay, so I just heard about QuenChat and the other one, AI or Llama Tulu 3, 405 billion parameters. These are two new models, cutting edge models. And I said, okay, well, so they're supposed to be super smart. So I said, give me a complex math and reasoning problem that only people with PhDs in math or IQs over 100 can solve. And look at this. It tells me, certainly, here's the problem, the infinite lattice. So this is like some sort of mathematical problem that I really don't understand. Why this problem is hard. It requires familiarity with advanced combinatorics, including Catalan numbers, lattice paths, and Young tableau. So I know nothing about any of this. And I think this is a good metaphor for where AI is going and where humanity will be. Humanity will be trying to interpret things that this AI will create, language or knowledge, and trying to understand it. And it won't be able to understand it. AI will be ahead of humanity. So, but already you have this software that you can say, give me something super hard, and it already knows what's like super hard, like PhD level. So it's unbelievable. I did the same thing with this new one, which is the Llama Tulu 3 405B, and they all come up with different answers. So here's another like insane math problem that it just spits out, and then I tell it to solve the problem. This is basically a solitary wave condition. I don't even know what it is. Traveling wave solution, which is interesting. I mean, it looks pretty cool, very complex. And then I told it to solve the problem. To solve this problem, let's break it down step by step. But look at this. It goes through and it solves this like extremely high IQ problem. And then I said, well, just for shits and gigs, how can I make money with this? Just to like, say, all right, use that information, this solution, because apparently it's solved it. I hope it is correct, it says. Okay. Our primarily academic theoretical interest in the fields of fluid dynamics, mathematical physics, and applied mathematics. So there are several ways you could potentially leverage this knowledge to generate income: academic, career, consulting, writing and publishing, software development, online courses. So this is really interesting. And then I said, how could I apply it to the stock market? And it says, fundamentally impartial differential equation used to model wave phenomena in shallow water directly to stock market might seem like a stretch because stock market is not generally physical wave dynamics. However, the essence of your question touches upon the broader concept of using mathematical models to analyze and predict financial market behaviors. So it starts to hypothesize, well, how could we use this like super complex theory that it may have solved, may or may not have solved, and how could we apply it to, like, you know, a real world application? And it starts giving you, so this is areas of potential research. So PhDs and mathematicians and financial analysts and quantitative analysts are probably going to love this kind of stuff. Volatility clustering, stochastic volatility modeling. So it's already suggesting, well, ways that it could be applied: pattern recognition, wavelet analysis, technical analysis, quantitative trading strategies. So it's giving you all these ideas. Yeah, it's all very theoretical, but it just shows you the power of these models that are out there. So this is the last one, $30 DeepSeek dupe. So this is Tiny AI. A PhD researcher created a something that on par with DeepSeek's power, i.e. the strongest AI that is on par with the strongest ChatGPT, and he did it for $30. So this has happened in what, the last 2 weeks. So this is why the markets are rocked right now. The NASDAQ, they're trying to understand what just happened. I mean, they do understand what just happened. Basically, they used AI to improve AI, and yeah, already it's like these machines are smarter than Sam Altman and his team of the smartest investors out there. The solution is not in more compute and hardware, but it's in software, and it's in using intelligence to improve intelligence. So again, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, as humans, we can do that. We can use our own intelligence to improve our own intelligence. And now with AI, it's like everything's on steroids. So very interesting. Tiny Zero, and you can see this is it here. I mean, you can download these models, and it gives you instructions on how you can install it on your own computer. So this is going to blow open a lot of possibilities in the world, and that's really good, because we don't want this type of power concentrated in the hands of few corporate greedy people. It's available for everybody, so that's really interesting. So I've been diving into AI because I think this is really where you need to go, and I've been learning about prompt engineering. So this is my notes on prompt engineering, how to develop good prompts, and then types of prompts: persona-based prompts. What's a persona-based prompts? Here's an example. Write a script for a welcome message for people interested in chatting about sports. Deliver it in the style of John Madden. So that's saying take on a persona of John Madden and then do this task. So that's that. So, and there's tons of other different ways of structuring prompts that I've studied: constrained, zero shot, few shot, chain of thought, and I've developed all the notes here and been studying this. Self-consistency and knowledge creation. This is like the most sophisticated and advanced form of prompting AIs that will actually generate knowledge for you. Knowledge. And so, for instance, use case: Sarah, marketing expert working at a large firm. A client engaged her to create a comprehensive study on AR glasses. The study must contain information on the current landscape of AR, future growth, estimate potential revenue. So that's an example of how you can apply this. Like, this is like high-level executive, vice president research or middle management type research, strategic analysis for business, and then how you can create these types of prompts to generate. So this is a prompt. I actually entered this too, and so I've saved that. But as you can see, the key elements, you're analyzing the market landscape. So it's really asking these models to create like highly detailed planning documents and things like that. So that's knowledge creation. And then, of course, I jumped into AI avatars. But that's kind of what I'm doing. That's an update. And here's some of the prompts that I've been using for financial analysis. prompts about investing, economic analysis, what are the biggest economies worldwide, provide a holistic analysis of the U.S. economy, provide a data table with current GDP, national debt, GDP ratio. You can do all these things now instead of searching for them and looking at different websites. These models can or use the sum of human knowledge and the current state of economic conditions, and then synthesize all that information in easy to use and digest reports. So economic analysis, industries, look at the industries. What industries are good for growth investing, value investing, dividend investing? Please provide an industry analysis for the AI industry for the U.S. market, cybersecurity, fintech. So these are all the possibilities that you can use. Company analysis. Let's look at companies' earnings. Example analysis of Apple Incorporated. Quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, and then provide the data. And then comparative analysis, looking in a sector, all the different top players, and synthesizing all the data. This is how powerful it is for financial research. So I've saved all these prompts, and you can get access to it as a member. But here's a specialized AI called Intellectia, where you can ask all sorts of stuff related to financial. So I just said, what patterns are detected currently in the SPY and QQQ SPY analysis? And it says SPY's been in a slight downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. However, the MACD shows a bearish divergence. So MACD is kind of showing us that the markets might be heading for more downside. Potential continued weakness. Bollinger Band suggests SPY is trading near the low. So these are technical indicators, which could imply oversold conditions. So it might rally, but it might continue to sell off in the medium term. And then QQQ, that's NASDAQ, shows resilience compared to SPY, maintaining a relative stable range. Looks like there's more bullish momentum. However, the stochastic oscillator shows overbought conditions and means it might be ready for a pullback. So, and then it gives you a nice chart, and you can see where we are. But this is coming up to this pattern here. I mean, it's kind of like on a nice angle up, but now we're sort of in a sideways consolidation with increased volatility on the SPY. That's the overall market. And QQQs is similar. We seem to be in a sideways consolidation. But things are going to happen. Like with NVIDIA, you saw like massive selling. And that's kind of what we're in for, I think. There's going to be just like sharp moves in markets. And so that's the overall broader market. And but look at this. InfoWars, of all places, is finally realizing that finance and money is something besides politics that you should get into. The Empire Strikes Back. BlackRock-backed hedge funds have placed giant put options against the U.S. economy in a desperate attempt to blow up the Trump recovery. is I think what they're doing is they're having hedging risk. Big players like BlackRock can tank the market, because if they just start dumping all their or portions, even just portions of their big positions, that will cause a carry-on slide. But it's going to happen. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's no conspiracy regarding certain market players are going to dump the market. No, because who's the biggest market player of all? The biggest market player of all is the Fed. And which brings me to my recent article. A friend asked my outlook for Bitcoin, crypto, and stocks. I told him the Fed will be easing rates at a slower pace in 2025. That's not news. They even announced it. Powell came out and said, we think inflation is under control. And lo and behold, Trump gets in, and they're not going to be easing rates as much as he wants to. And so I wrote, with the help of the super brain computer, how does Fed's policy influence the stock market in the U.S.? What is quantitative easing? So this is just to understand how the Fed influences stocks in the overall economy. And basically, they control through interest rates how much free cash is available, and that money goes into the stock market, goes into the bond market or out of the bond market, and then prices go up and down for Bitcoin, for stocks based upon that, and for real estate. And because they're not going to be lowering rates as quickly as they did before, they didn't actually do that much lowering, but they're going to slow it down. That probably means that this sort of bull phase, this last couple years, is kind of over, and we're going to be consolidating sideways with dips down. So it's kind of bearish, but we'll see, because there are bullish things happening. And I think individual markets are really where you're going to look at. But let's look at crypto. Okay, so Bitcoin is now at 98,000. And it's under 100K. It's struggling. I mean, everyone's like, oh, we're going to 2.2 million. It's locked and loaded. Yeah, I don't think so. They're not going to be pumping that much money into the market. So as you can see, it kind of got up to 107,000, and then it's never really touched that again. And, we have these double top, triple top, quadruple top. And this support level here of 100,000 is kind of like key. This sharp dip here down to, where is it? 90,000 is the range. So we'll see. It'll probably go up and down in this sideways for a while, but I could be wrong. If it drops below 90K, it goes to 85, 83, whatever, 87, then that's pretty bearish. That'll be a big signal, but it hasn't done that yet. So we can stay up here for quite a while. But let's look at a meme coin, for instance. So this meme coin, Pino, had a great run. Crazy. Came up from 1 million, 3 million, boom, 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 all the way up to 80 million. Crazy gains. Didn't play it. My friend played it. But as you can see, this has now come back down to this support level and dip below. This support level being like, I guess, 7.5 million market cap. And so what are these things going to do? Well, I mean, where's the floor on this? The floor on this is probably where it started, 2 million or 3 million, sadly enough. But can you make money in these meme coins? Well, yes. Look at these bounces, 19 million up to 32 million. That's nice. That's like a 50%. This one was sharp, 19 million all the way up to 58 million. So you can get doubles and triples. But I think for now, memes are, probably somewhat dead. You got to be very nimble, very quick to make money in those markets. Speaking of money, I want to make money. And look at this. This is my YouTube channel. 3,995 public watch hours out of 4,000. This is the last hurdle I have to become fully monetized on YouTube, and that means I can make advertising revenue. I now have memberships available, so I'm developing that, and I have super chats, and I'm going to plug in shopping and products. So this is fun. This is something I want to share my research and my knowledge, and if you like the content, you can support me. But I'm also creating a high value added offering for members, and this is my course, which I mentioned before. This is a 7-pillar process for becoming a professional trader. All my research in one place, and as you can see, I've got all of my PowerPoints in a row, and I've basically done the main structure of it, but I'm refining it, and I really want to tighten it up before I launch it. And it's going to be something ongoing, so I'm going to add modules as I go. But as you can see, this is kind of the behind-the-scene look at it, and this is basically what we're looking at: how to make consistent gains in the market. And this is the tree of knowledge using Elon Musk's idea or concept of how to learn anything. And these are the 7 pillars. And this is the goal. This is the trunk. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to have consistent gains. And not just that, we're trying to compound them. That is what I have distilled as to what is a professional trader. So that's the kind of level my goal is to simplify information and knowledge so that you can learn it as fast as possible. It's optimization. And so this is kind of like, what the courses are going to be like. I try to keep it brief and applicable, and then show you real world examples. For instance, how I apply it and my knowledge or my performance using these techniques. And so transparency is a big part of it. So that's kind of the update on where I am, what I've been doing, what I've been learning. We can look at more specific things. I mean, I've just been doing so much research and experimentation and prompting, using these AI tools and really just loving it. Let's see. Stock market strategies overview. Biggest, fastest economies in 2024. U.S. economy and stock market. So let's look at stock market strategies. Yeah, this is interesting. This is using ChatGPT. Which strategies for the stock market do you recommend? So you can use AI for financial research in so many ways, and just enhance your learning. So I'm gonna be sharing all that and all these resources, all my research in my membership. It hasn't fully launched, but if you do want to sign up, go ahead and click the link below, or just wait until I fully announced it. But basically, that's my update. I'll just sign off for now, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon. I hope you're all well and be well.